To another episode of Mr. Dixon's Arrested Developments. For those who don't know, what I do is I basically find some religious story. No, not religious stories. I find stories about the religious getting arrested. It's got to be a pastor, a minister, a rabbi, that sort of thing. And then I read the stories about them being arrested. Now, and in my hand here is, I don't always drink on camera doing this, but then I'm going to do it today. But this is a gin and tonic. I love gin and tonics. It helps read this shit. The thing is, I actually got a couple of these pieces that I've done. Excuse me. A couple of these I've done, and I was complaining a couple of weeks ago, like, I only got one story. How was that possible? Well, this week I got a ton of them, but I'm only doing 3 because they're all the same goddamn story. Everything is even these. It's just someone fucking a kid or trying to fuck a kid or going around trying to fuck it. Listen, if you're, I'm begging you, ministers, youth pastors, do other crimes. Stop fucking the kids. It's weird. We got this whole thing with Harvey Weinstein. You really want to find out where sexual abuse is going on, where real abuse is, where just tons of guys is getting away with all sorts of shit. Look in the church. Look in the temple, look in the synagogue, look in the mosque. That's where it's happening. Dudes are just fucking left and right. Young children or women. I'm sure that's not. They don't get arrested for that because that's not sexual harassment. It's not a crime in that sense. You're not going to go to jail for it. So, but I guarantee you that's also happening there. Look, just if you're a reporter or a journalist, and for some reason you're watching this, I don't even know who's watching this. Like maybe 3 people, but. If you do, you want to write a really big story, you want to hey, I want to make it in journalism, I'm going to be a big guy. Do this. Just go look. Google arrested priest, minister, rabbi, blah, 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 blah. You'll find one sexual story, and just go with that. Just go with that. You'll have tons of glory and stories. Maybe you'll win a Pulitzer or something, because this is just, that shit never ends. It could be your beat. That's it. Some people have like a sports beat or journalist. I'm sorry, journal. You have a broadcast. What do you do? Reviewers. You do reviewers every week you have a review. You could be like what is it? Like what is it? What the flick? It'd be what the fuck, and I said because that's what they do with what the flick anyway. And it could be like you. Just reviewing the latest kid being Peter. Well, you can't do my gig, but I mean, you know what I'm saying. You're a journalist. You can. I'm just reading this shit that other journalists have done. If they didn't do this, I wouldn't even know about it. It's amazing. I can't rob a bank. Freaking just spousal abuse. I mean, you're already gumbags anyway, but do something other than the fucking kid fucking. I mean, come on. There's other crimes to be made, religious people. Stop with the children already. Have you never heard of arson? Arson's good. Arson, you like burning things, don't you? Maybe a little drug dealing. Have you seen Breaking Bad? It's a good show. You could be like a minister who goes off, becomes a bad person, starts doing drugs. That could be interesting. That could be you could be a youth pastor and you get your own Jesse Pinkman and go off into. I mean, just something. Just don't. Not enough with the kids. All right. Anyway, I gotta get started here. I gotta be somewhere. All right. So let's get our stories here. Just 3 of them I said for this episode. This one is the 2 of them are in Texas. Don't ask me why. I don't know why I got, but Texas just kept coming up. So I just narrowed it down to these just 2 Texas stories and one in Oklahoma. Is it Oklahoma? I'm sorry. Omaha, Nebraska. Oklahoma, Nebraska. What? All right. KTXS, Texas. Former Big County youth minister arrested for sexual assault because, of course, he was. Taylor, Texas. The Texas Rangers arrested a former Big County youth minister wanted for sexual assault. A DPS trooper in South County, which is near Tyler, stopped 32-year-old Clinton Brackett on Thursday for a traffic violation. That's always a bad thing. Once you get stopped for a traffic violation, it just goes down there from there. Brackett is the former youth and children's minister at First Baptist Church in Ballinger, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, and I don't give a fuck if I am. During that stop, the trooper discovered Brackett was wanted in Runnels County for sexual assault. Runnels. Not tunnels, but it's Runnels. It rhymes with tunnels. The warrant stemmed from an investigation by the Texas Rangers. I thought they canceled that series. Anyway, the warrant stemmed from an investigation by the Texas Rangers. DPS would not release details about the investigation other than it stating it is ongoing and will be turned over to the Runnels County District Attorney. Brackett was most recently the director of student ministries at First United Methodist Church in Lindale. Lindale, it's where we go to be. Findale. All right. Pastor Rick Ivy said they fired Brackett after his arrest. Well, one would hope. Brackett is out of jail on a $100,000 bond, so lock up your children. Mr. Brackett is out there. All right, get rid of that. Allegedly. It's not allegedly he's out there, but allegedly he did this. All right. KTRK, also in Texas. I warned you, we got 2 Texas stories. The next one. Houston, Texas. A youth pastor, of course, is accused of taking a teen from his congregation to a motel and sexually assaulting her, according to court documents. Court documents allege Albert Lavador Jr., 48. This is great. I'm going to name my kid after me. See, this is what happens. You don't want to name, because then you look what happens. Your kid comes up, gets involved in some sort of pedo thing, and now your name's in there. They give your kid a different name, although he's still going to have the same last name, so I guess it connects you regardless. Anyway, court documents allege Albert Lavador Jr., 48, met the girl at Broadway Baptist Church in Southeast Houston. You know, we have a Broadway comedy club in New York City. I wonder if they're connected. Anyway, no, of course not. He is accused of taking the 16-year-old to a motel where they had sexual contact on 2 different occasions in June. A probable cause statement said he allegedly took the girl to McDonald's for a snack after one incident. Classy. Listen, we're gonna go to a hotel. I'm gonna have sex with you. You're underage, and I'm gonna take you to McDonald's because I'm 48, and that's what you do when you commit to pedophilia. You take them to McDonald's afterwards. Classy shit. Well, he's a pedophile. What do you? Allegedly. Like the McDonald's, really? My word. I mean, not that I'm like I've gotten tons of puss, but in my life, I've never, after we've had an encounter with a young lady, not that young, don't take it to McDonald's. It just seems like really low. You take it to like a diner. I mean, I'm not like that. I got tons of money. I'm like, I think it was a big, but you know, like I appreciate the sex. I really do. That's very nice. And let's go out and eat. And we're gonna go to a nice little diner or someplace near us. I think I'm taking you to McDonald's. You know where you take it to McDonald's after we just went to a ball game, maybe we went to see a concert. We go, well, let's go stop at McDonald's and get something quick to eat. That makes sense. But that's a relationship. That's like your girlfriend. This is like well, I don't know. There's a girl he's pedophiling, and so he takes it to McDonald's. That or Burger King. These are the 2 places you need to take someone after if you violated a child. You go like, listen, I can. Which is the best place to go after sexual assault of a child? I know. I'll go to McDonald's. That's a primo place to go. McDonald's. The girl reached out to her friend about the incidents. Lavador was interviewed last month by officers in South Houston, where court documents claim he confessed. Yes, I took her to McDonald's. What's the big deal? I thought he confessed. He confessed to being a pedophile. Or having sex with a 16-year-old. Anyway, which technically in some states is not actually pedophilia, to be fair, actually. The court records show Lavador was charged with sexual assault of a child under the age of 17. Although, even if it's not pedophilia in your state, still, the fact is, this is a 48-year-old man having sex with a 16-year-old. Come on, dude. Come on, really? 16? 16? Not even 20? Can't even like 21? Really, she had to be 16? No, dude, come on. ABC 13 reached out to Broadway Baptist staff to find out if Lavador is still a pastor there, but not yet received a response. Maybe they should try Broadway Comedy Club. They'll have a response. Houston Gateway Academy, which is feet away from the church, said they had an Albert Lavador Jr. work as a teacher there, but he resigned in 2016. Probably worked for the Trump campaign. A school representative said there is no accusation of wrongdoing at that time. So when he was looking at us, we don't know. He didn't do shit when he worked with us. And that's it. Allegedly. All right, next joke. That's in my act. Don't worry. What am I saying? Don't worry about that. Anyway. KETV, Nebraska, ladies and gentlemen. We're now in Nebraska. This one is interesting, though, to me. Former youth pastor jailed for sexual assault. A former youth pastor is accused of sexually assaulting a teenage girl. Okay, that's usual. And that's what they do. I mean, if you're a youth pastor, you teach them about the Bible. You teach them about the ways of a church, and then you sexually molest the young girls. Or boys, depending upon what your preference is. It doesn't matter. All right. Sarpy County authorities say Clint Andrew Bitter, 34, is held without bond on one felony count of sexual assault. Bitter, this should be called the religious charge, really, because when we arrest somebody who's a youth minister, it's usually sexual assault. Burn something, for Christ's sake. I do mean that in the religious sense of this thing. For Christ, he was in the fire. Well, no, he was in the wine. Get drunk. Drunk and disorderly. There you go. No sexual molestation. No one else gets hurt. Get behind the wheel and drink. There you go. Say, hey, this minister got behind the wheel and he got drunk. And they could say it's like Jesus, because Jesus got wine, which technically makes Jesus a drug dealer, and go off, because it's a drug. I call it a drug. Jesus turned water into wine, hence he was a drug dealer. Don't argue with me on this. All right, let's move on here. We got a story. I got to be somewhere. It's already late. Bitter appeared in court Wednesday morning facing first-degree sexual assault of a child charges. Sexual assault of a child charges. All right. Officials said Bitter contacted a man to set up a meeting after finding a Craigslist ad for an 18-year-old girl. Hey, this sounds like prostitution to me. Like, hey, I'm going to contact a guy to find a girl to get me laid. And So basically, he was looking for a pimp. Bitter's attorney argued, you like the light coming in on me like this? And get my glasses on. It's a window right near me. All right. Officials said Bitter contacted him. I said that already. Bitter is married and has one child and has lived in Oklahoma for 7 years. So he's like, hey, the wife's puss, hey, I got a kid out of it. Yeah, it's a little loose now. Sorry. I can be a little crude. I'm sorry. Anyway, he decided he was going to have sex with an 18-year-old. The Bitter's attorney argued that Craigslist ad said the woman was over 18 years old and that he had emails stating the woman was of age. Which is, to be honest, and maybe this is just me sounding like a dude here, but that sounds like a fair argument. Like, hey, I didn't know she was under 18. The ad said she was. The number one, dude, you shouldn't be fucking someone other than your wife. Unless you're, separated, or you got or you have an open marriage. If you have an open marriage, then have at it. But still, same reason, hey, I thought she was of age. Which, by the way, is not, it does you no good. Just so you know that, ladies and gentlemen, whoever the three people watching this, understand that. Regardless of what you may think the age is of the person you're having sex with, if it turns out they are underage, you can still go to jail, and you can still go on the pedo list to saying you're a pedophile. Even if you thought this person was 34 years old, and it turns out they were 12. How that can happen, I don't know, but I'm just saying, theoretically, yes, that can happen. And yes, even if you meet them in a bar, even if they say, I'm of age, even if they show you an ID saying they are of age, it's okay for you to have sex with them. If it turns out later that they are underage, you can still be charged with pedophilia. Yes, I know that, which is always weird to me, but that's true. I'm not making that up. That's not me joking. That is absolutely true, which has always been very weird to me. Yes, you shouldn't be having underage sex, but it's always reasonable to me that if you're in a bar and you meet a woman or a guy, whatever, and you go off and you have sex with them, you're in a bar, but you obviously, number one, you're drinking, so you're not thinking that way, but you're thinking, but obviously in the back of your head, you're going well, this person must be of age, because what the fuck are they doing in a bar? They're old enough to drink, so they're old enough to have sex. And yet, that's not the case, apparently. You can get in trouble. So I'm just telling you, I'm not making that up. That's absolutely true. Which is a little weird to me. I agree. I feel a little bit for this freak here who's cheated on his wife. Still, he's a douchebag, but he may not be a pedophile douchebag, to be fair to Mr. Bitters here. Bitter's attorney, I said that already. Officials said Bitter turned himself in and was cooperating with law enforcement. Bitter received a $1 million bond and is not to have contact with anyone under the age of 18. Bitter waived his preliminary hearing and will appear in court again on October 31st. So that's coming up. So yes, all right. So that's Mr. Dixon's Arrested Developments for this week. And next week, hopefully, we'll have some new crimes. We'll definitely have new crimes, because that shit never ends. But hopefully, it's not another guy touching a kid. Even a guy who doesn't realize he's touching a kid. Which, again, Mr. Bitters, you're still a freak with the whole religion thing. But I do understand, like, that seems a little unfair. I mean, if it's true, if it really did get emails saying, hey, I'm over 18 years old, and he's like, oh, great, I'm going to cheat on my wife, but I am looking for someone over 18. This girl, I'm going to go have sex with her. In a hotel, thanks to this man, because she's obviously, he's pimping. Why was the man who's pimping out this woman not being arrested? I don't know. Maybe he was. But we're already dealing with the pastor or the youth minister, whatever the fuck he was. I forget already. I had one gin and tonic, I'm already off, and I gotta be somewhere. So I got to go, but thank you for watching this. The whole 8 of you who watched this, or 12, or 3, or whatever the number is. Appreciate it. I will see you next time, and have a good afternoon, or evening, or whatever the fuck you watch this. Bye-bye. This is me turning off the cameras. All right, bye.